I hear that comic clubs and hanging out in the scene is quite difficult. A lot of ladies, a lot of drugs. Is that not the case? And if it is, how
I still find that very difficult.
Yeah.
I went to that Kill Tony show and there were some very friendly and beautiful strippers backstage.
Yeah. How do you...
Wonderful time. It was very hard to practice custody of the eyes.
Yeah, how do you know?
And I didn't know I was going to be there or that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But, you try and look people in the eye and have a... They weren't like working as strippers at the time. They were doing the show and coming backstage without trousers on. But you just try and, But even then, someone said, "This now watch out, ladies, this man's a very conservative Catholic." And this stripper looked me in the eye and she was like, "God bless you, that's so beautiful." And I thought, it's a bit different in America. No one in Australia is really happy for you that you're holding to your conservative religion. Yeah. But you say, "Have a blessed day" to people here, and people act like that's just something to say. Yeah. Such a beautiful part of the culture.
Because you have a lot of vulgar comedy.
I'm very vulgar.
You have a lot of language, a lot of sexual talk. I mean, has that changed since your conversion, or will it change, do you think? Or if not, why is it okay?
I just saw Nate. Do you know Nate Bargatze? I think I'm saying that right. I just saw his comedy for the first time, and he works clean, and he's so funny that I had a big crisis. I was like, I've thrown it all away being dirty and blue. I want to be like this man. I want to... And even before I was a Catholic, it was closing the doors, being vulgar. Like, I don't get a lot of work on cruise ships performing for people's families. And the big one was I was working on commercial radio. I don't know if we spoke about this last time, but that was like just before I was becoming a Catholic, I was doing breakfast radio on the weekends in Adelaide and working for people on the weekday show. And then I was going through catechism while I was doing my first presenting spot. Yeah. And it became, because you can't be vulgar on radio, but also you can't, I've got this new evolving morality where I'm,
just trying to find where the line is,
well,
maybe?
The zeal of a convert that anyone says anything against God or flippant about God, that I'm pushing back in a big kind of weird way for 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning or whatever.
Yeah, it's like when you fall in love and someone says something against your girlfriend. You can't just sit there.
Yeah, your back gets up. You're ready to fight a duel. And then also the woke thing was starting to come in. It hadn't quite reached commercial radio, but I knew it was out there. And they'd be like, just use a Chinese accent for this bit. And you'd go, I don't know that that's going to be good for me now to be, I know you're not afraid of that, but I feel bad. So it's like 3 morality codes that you're trying to live up to at any given time. And it's, maybe you can write a sketch or a poem or something that can be censored in all those ways. But if you're being genuine, you can't keep track of that many things at once. So I sort of decided at that point that I would keep to what I thought was important, which is I love God, I love the natural law, I love the catechism. That's as close to my morality as I can hold. Yeah. So vulgarity at the same time, it's like, well, I would never say something I think that was I couldn't religiously get behind.
Well, what about just swearing?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
In certain circumstances. There are instances
I don't think
where it's bad.
I certainly don't think talking about explicitly sexual things is a good thing. And you do that. I
do. I can only speak positively about what I think.
Now, I will say this, because I'm going to push you a bit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But before I do that, I find that the times I've heard you say things like that, I kind of like the point you're making. So there seems to be this Catholic point that you're making behind a bunch of language.
Yes.
Please don't say it, but the Instagram joke, right? Like you refresh, I don't want to see that. Let's not get into it.
Yeah.
But the point is like there is a sense in which you're like, I'm a Catholic and I don't want this. So I do think a lot of the time it's like, it's almost like you're a covert Catholic in the sense that I see these secular people belly laughing, and yet you're making this beautiful point for chastity or a big marriage.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm quite convinced that the language and the vulgarity doesn't justify the end point.
That's
my position.
I know that has to be a weird personal thing, and right. I moderate my language in certain instances, but
no, I don't. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, because people accuse me sometimes of being tricky, or like, what are you? Yeah. They go like, how are you a Catholic and doing that? Or how, and I think all you can do is try and be honest. And that looks insane. Like when you're really trying to be honest, you look like a crazy person.
And you might end up evolving because you're being honest, right?
Certainly.
You might change your mind and therefore you're going to start looking different. And that's not because you're grifting, it's because you're changing your mind on things.
Yeah. And we should change our mind on things.
Yeah, unless we know everything.
But the SH, I T word.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think I'm okay with.
I think you're open to swearing privately.
I've gone back and forth with
Yeah.
swearing a lot. I guess here's my current, speaking about being honest, right?
Yeah.
So my opinion might change next week. I'm currently at the position where I think to swear among friends
Yes.
is acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But publicly. I mean, it's a bad business move. I cop that. Like, I've closed
publicly
doors.
because I'm unaware of the people I'm engaging,
Yes.
and also I think it would be better if none of us swore. I think it'd be better. And
Why does it feel so good then, Matt?
Because it's cathartic. It's a
Yeah.
release.
I want to tell you about a course that I have created for men to overcome pornography. It is called strive21.com/Matt. You go there right now, or if you text STRIVE to 66866, we'll send you the link. It's 100% free, and it's a course I've created to help men, to give them the tools to overcome pornography. Usually men know that porn is wrong. They don't need me or you to convince them that it's wrong. What they need is a battle plan to get out. And so I've distilled all that I've learned over the last 15 or so years as I've been talking and writing on this topic into this one course. Think of it as if you and I could have a coffee over the next 21 days and I would kind of guide you along this journey. That's basically what this is. It's incredibly well produced. We had a whole camera crew come and film this. And I think it'll be a real help to you. And it's also not an isolated course that you go through on your own, because literally tens of thousands of men have now gone through this course. And as you go through the different videos, there's comments from men all around the world encouraging each other, offering to be each other's accountability partners and things like that. Strive21, that's strive21.com/Matt, or as I say, text STRIVE to 66866 to get started today. You won't regret it.